Thank you very much. We were just talking about school closures, and I did want to update. I had mentioned that FSW was closed on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I've got an update on that. FSW is also now closed on Friday, joining FGCU in being closed the rest of the week. Okay, we want to take you outside, give you some perspective, because we're seeing a lot of rain on Fort Myers Beach.
That's right, and that's where we can find ABC7's Gage Goulding, who is outside the Leonardo Arms Condo building. Hey, Gage, what are you seeing?
Well, right now we're dry because we're standing on the 6th floor balcony here, but out there we are seeing some, I don't want to call it heavy rain, but it's consistent for the most part, right? We're seeing that consistent rain, and we are seeing the wind kind of pick up in those bands that JP was talking about as we start seeing the storm and Ian get closer to us. We're starting to see some of those bands, but one of the indications I want to see if we can focus on, there's a lot of birds flying around right now, and if you know anything about nature, these birds are smart little creatures. They will go inside, go into their little hiding places whenever that bad weather comes. So if the birds are out, it usually means it's a pretty good sign in terms of the weather. Now we'll see how long they stick around and how long a lot of people on the island stick around. But we've been here at Leonardo Arms. If you've been watching ABC7 in the past, you know what we're talking about as we zoom into these big black sandbags over here. This is it. That is what you're looking at, is what's going to protect this 6-story condo building. This is 60 units in here in the Leonardo Arms condo building number 2. We're on the south end of Estero Island right now on Fort Myers Beach. They've had really bad, I mean, I don't even know if really bad clarifies it, extremely, extraordinarily bad beach erosion. Believe it or not, as we zoom out looking into the Gulf, picture this. Years ago, even just a couple years ago, this beach used to extend 300 feet out. It's a football field. You would have to traverse a football field to get out and meet the water's edge. And now this is all you see. And the water right now, can we take a look at this pier down here? Ted, our photographer, we can zoom it. That pier, the water is usually past that. And by past it, I mean closer to this building. I mean, during normal times, it's about 15 feet between the water's edge and the building. 15 feet, that's all that separates. And that's why they have those sandbags here. And someone that has seen a lot of this, Don Prow. You live here, you're on the 6th floor, and you're still here even through the evacuations. First question for you, what makes you want to stay?
Well, because I don't think there's any problem of worrying about the building. It's an all-block building, and it's pre-stressed floors, and it's very well built, and pouring cement for 45 years, I understand what a cement building's like. I
was going to say, I was privy to the information earlier. Don is a cement pro. He's worked in the business for a long time. But I got to say, there's not many cars out there in the parking lot. A lot of people, not necessarily, I don't know if they don't have faith in the building, but maybe not having faith in this storm being nice to them. But you're hunkering down. What's your plan?
There's only the 2 cars there, mine and the other guy downstairs, but he isn't here. He's up in Chicago. So I think, you know, it's an older Honda, so I'll make my way through it.
And what's your plan for the storm here?
I'll bring down the shutters, and then we got hurricane glass here. And brought in all the food and necessities we need, got all the batteries and lights and all that stuff. And we got barbecue grills up front that I don't think will be knocked over, but if they are, we'll just eat beans and Spam and
the feast.
Yeah, the feast. And then we get tuna. I got a lot of tuna in there, and mayonnaise don't spoil, you know. You can put it outside on the counter if you gotta. So. And the rest we'll just throw away.
And let me ask you this, you know, we've been covering the story since the springtime, and the engineers that did the study on this building say that it's vulnerable. And
Sure.
They've been trying to get this seawall built. In your words, I mean, tell me, what's the hang-up with this seawall?
Well, I think quite a bit of the hang-up is the government red tape. We all sent our money in to build it for our association, and we're willing to build it. We just can't get the go-ahead, and you got to follow all the government regulations. But once that seawall gets put in, it's right back to no problem at all. And there is a small seawall down there and rocks behind that bag, so it isn't like there isn't a lot of stuff that's got to be washed out to get it back there. I mean, but if they 15-foot surges like you're talking about, it'll come over the top. But it'd have to spin around and wash all the sand out from underneath the piers. And the piers are probably down 45 feet, I'd guess.
And the condo president, we've been talking to him throughout this entire coverage that we've had. He's said this whole time, it's kind of become his line is, we're one storm away from devastation.
Correct. if you had the right storm, that's correct. But
Do you think Ian's that storm?
how do you know?
Let's hope not.
I hope not. I'm betting it isn't. I don't think the building's going to go anyplace, but a lot of people are selling their units and taking losses on them and get out of here. And I'm happy right here, and I don't think it's going down.
Well, Don, I appreciate it. Don's going to be here. We're going to be here. And actually, just seconds ago, let's take a look out here. You see the rain even on the Gulf here, just picking up. We're getting one of those bands, and I don't know if you can hear the wind kind of churning in the background a little bit. One of those bands actually feels good because it's kind of warm out here right now. One of those bands is moving through the Fort Myers Beach area currently right now. We're going to stay locked here. Hopefully, Don will let us hang out on the balcony for a little bit longer so we can bring you some more coverage. We'll be back soon to talk about the latest conditions, also exactly when we could see this seawall built. We'll have some more coming up here in a little bit. Back to you guys on the desk.
Don going with